Right now, we are entering to a sensitive period.
The UAE is not going through a conflict.
Is that time to wait right now for investment?
I don't think it's time to wait. Dubai is no longer a speculative market. It's a long-term market. It's not a recession. It is not a financial crisis.
Yeah.
It is not a devaluation of a currency. We've had zero cancellations. They're not going to be desperate to sell. They have the funds. For Dubai specifically, the 2008 financial crisis took longer to recover. It was challenging in the very beginning, the first 3 months. You know, what's worse than the news is social media, because there's a lot of fake media that's out there. This situation is definitely not normal. Yeah, it's not a normal situation.
Hi everyone, today we are here for another episode of MoonTalk. I can say another very special episode of MoonTalk. Why? Because we're gonna learn a lot about conflict that Dubai has gone through over past years and the conflict that we are facing right now. And for this reason, for this purpose, I couldn't find anyone better than Hisham, that he has got more than 20 years experience in this market. How are you, Hisham?
Very well. Thank you, Sina, for inviting me. I just want to add, the UAE is not going through a conflict. It's going through challenging times. They're not, directly involved in the war. They're being defensive to attacks.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, to break the ice, before we cut to the chase, could you please introduce yourself for me and my audience, especially for my Iranian audience, and give me a quick briefing about your journey in real estate?
So I've been doing real estate for the last 25 years. I started off with developers, particularly Dubai Holding, the entity called Dubai Properties, and then Select Group, which is a private real estate developer, before moving on to brokerage. And 2 years ago, I set up my own business called Osus Real Estate. Osus is an Arabic word, which stands for foundation. And the business is diversified into primary, secondary, and we work on a few exclusive projects where we help landowners configure residential mixes, pricing strategies, and deploy their go-to-market approach.
Great.
This is just to summarize it in brief.
No, I got my point, but I'm curious. I just want to know, what was your first income and the payment that you received in Dubai related to real estate, I mean?
So,
and how old were you when you started?
I was 22. 22 when I started, and it was sales, pushing and promoting Jumeirah Beach residence. Back then, it was the largest single-phased project. So all 40 towers were coming up together through a clustered approach to have more contractors on board for the speed of it. It's approximately 6,500 apartments. In terms of the first pay, I think it was close to 25,000 dirhams, because, again, commission was very different back then. Prices were very different. A studio was at 299,000, a one-bed was 499,000, and they were spacious apartments. Of course, the market has changed since 2002 to where we are today. Tremendously. But the 25,000 was back then. Today, people earn, like 80, 200. It's just infinite, depending on how much effort you put in. Just so we're clear.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
like it was a range of 25 to 100 month on month. At the time I was 22, is good money.
Yeah,
it's good money for real estate.
Even now, it's good money.
Still great money.
Yeah, it still is great. Okay, let's go back to my second question. Have you ever thought which career would you follow if you didn't go to real estate? Based on your character, I mean. Before real estate, did you do anything?
No. Real estate was a coincidence. And it was challenging in the very beginning. When I say challenging in the very beginning, the first 3 months. But once it grows on you, it's a drug. It's an adrenaline rush. It motivates you. It's very dynamic. Every day, especially when you're in sales, you go through different experiences because you meet different people in a city like Dubai that's very multicultural. with a lot of foreigners that come to invest and a lot of foreign residents. You learn a lot along the way.
Exactly, same here. And you can remember the first interview I have with you and with Setare. That was the first experience for real estate that I had. I'm 35 years old, and I used to hate real estate. But after a while, I fell in love with real estate. And right now, I cannot think to do anything but real estate.
Yeah. But if there was another career, I think it would be law. Yeah.
Really? Do you know anything about law right now?
I mean, given you had to read a lot of sale and purchase agreements and the different roles I played within real estate, because it wasn't only sales, right? There was a lot of back office work I got involved in. And obviously going into the 2008 financial crisis, there was a lot of agreements that we had to go through, a lot of negotiations we had to do, a lot of resolutions we needed to execute. And it's hard work, but it has substance. You know how to navigate challenges,
Exactly.
to identify loopholes, to benefit and provide value to your shareholders.
Exactly. And what did you major at?
Business management and marketing.
For bachelor or
Bachelor's, yeah.
Bachelor. I know you're owner of Osus company right now, as you told me. What came into your mind that you wanted to establish your own company? I know you were sitting pretty in Axe Capital Select Group. You had good situation. What was your desired outcome? I mean,
Sometimes it was basically external factors that were impacting me. And I went through a phase of self-reflection and a lot of thought for a long period of time and assessed different scenarios and decided I think it's the time right now, given, you know, the number of years I've worked with developers, the success we've also achieved at Axe Capital at one point in time, to test and see whether, you know, this experience will pay off. And I've learned something. And so far it's been honestly decent, a blessing, and a great journey.
Satisfied.
Yeah, I mean, there's always room for growth, always room, you know, to adapt to changes, given like the challenges, again, that we're going through right now.
Exactly.
But having lived here through different phases of, you know, the economy cycle has been instrumental to learnings where we need to deploy and see how we'll come out of this strong.
Exactly. Okay, let's go to the chase. Okay, according to public belief, right now we are entering to a sensitive period due to these geopolitical tensions that we have. What's your perspective right now in Dubai market, real estate?
Look, we'll need to acknowledge that definitely there's been an impact. But it is not one that is extreme where everything has gone to a standstill. You and I are out recording this at the moment. Since day one, I've been driving around the city, attending suhoors, attending iftars, attending platforms by you know, colleagues and associates that want to ensure, you know, the continuity of our industry and uplift people. Given that the leadership has demonstrated we are well guarded, we are protected. So to me, it's not really, it's too much noise, which I'm not listening into. It's just people talk, but I follow my day-to-day routine. The only added element is being in touch with the team more. Because, you know, when things are good, people are moving around freely. They know what to do. When it becomes challenging, it's very important to keep, you know, their mindsets in the right direction.
Yeah, exactly. How you keep this momentum for your team?
We've been doing a lot of meetings, and when I say a lot, like every 2 days, in comparison to once a month, where I would meet with you know, everybody. Usually, I have a lot of one-on-ones. Given our size is still small, and I can still manage. Every couple of days, we meet. We look at what's been happening in the market over the last 2 days, and there's been, you know, so much taking place. Sales, of course, has dropped, but sales are happening with all major developers. You had Shoba on Monday release a project in Al Quwan, part of their master planned community, Sinia Island. You had Ohana close over 3 billion dirhams of sales, and they still haven't announced. So that number is increasing day by day, right? In Abu Dhabi, you have regular transactions taking place, but again, the volume is different.
Yeah.
The volume is different, but what gives us more confidence is that people understand the strength of the UAE economy, Dubai's position when it comes to investment, the potential result once this comes to an end, and it will come to an end. When? We're not really sure. Nobody can forecast. Some people say 2 weeks. Some people are saying 5 months. But whatever it is, like we need to continue.
Okay, I want to address this situation from two different aspects. Let's say if this situation continue, what's gonna happen, and if it's gonna be over in 1 week or 2 weeks, what's gonna happen for Dubai?
Ending within 2 weeks, the market across all sectors will recover very quickly. I'm sure the government has plans for recovery if this comes to an end within 2 weeks. If this continues for a longer period of time, it's going to impact not only the UAE, but the global economy. It doesn't really add up. And we'll need to conform, take actions that are relevant without it being impulsive, right? To maintain, again, business, our income, the livelihoods of people that are here. Because the entire region right now is not stable.
Right now, are you already seeing any changes in behavior of investors or buyers?
Developers are continuing so far with their plans, right?
Exactly.
Maybe the launches, they're going to be delaying it a bit. But like I mentioned earlier, we've had in 1 week two launches. And Amar also did a launch in Dubai South.
Last day, yeah, exactly.
Right? And the turnout was phenomenal. So I believe business will continue. The UAE has had an economy that's been witnessing growth year on year. 2025 for Dubai specifically was the best performing year in terms of like transactions. We might see a 20%, 30% drop. But I strongly believe that, again, given the fundamentals, given the change of, the population increase that has happened over the last couple of years, this all will help us weather what's unfolding at the moment.
Did you see any price correction within these 2 weeks that we passed through this conflict? Any price correction or any changing in payment plan? Because as Osus, we are working exclusively on different developer.
Yeah,
and also secondary market, this kind of thing.
With the projects that Osus has, there's been no adjustments or no special incentives.
What about the
and I
market?
guess these are smaller developers, right?
Yeah.
So you can understand that the larger ones have not really done any special customer incentives, and there are no distressed or motivated sales that I've come across. Maybe a couple, but in relation to how people reacted during COVID, this shows you how strong the market has become as well. And the money that has flown in over the last 4 to 5 years is from a lot of people that wanted to acquire Class A assets, trophy assets. They're not going to be desperate to sell. They have the funds, they have the means, because it's not a recession. It is not a financial crisis.
Yeah.
It is not a devaluation of a currency. So that gives strength for people to hold on to their assets for a longer period of time, especially grade A, right? That will not be affected so quick. Neither
quick.
will the mid segment. But, the mid to low might be, because these are most likely first-time buyers. So to them, they were looking at this in terms of a saving. They may want to exit, but I believe it's too early for anybody to panic. We've seen multiple different kinds of challenges. Like 2008 was the global financial meltdown, and 2015 to 2020, the luxury market was not moving the way it did post-COVID. Then you had COVID, right? Today, it's a very different. It's a mature market.
Yeah, you answered a lot of my question about this crisis, financial was this kind of thing. Which one was the worst from your side of view? Yani it last that Dubai recover itself, 2008, 2014, or COVID.
There is no worse, right? A challenge or a disruption is a challenge or a disruption, but all of it, for those that have managed and took learnings from it,
Exactly.
has been very rewarding, right? I think in terms of recovery for Dubai specifically, the 2008 financial crisis was took longer to recover. COVID was very quick because we shut down in March. Skies opened up in July, transactions started happening in August, and things, I believe, by October of 2020 just erupted in a very positive way. This, what we're in at the moment, hasn't come to an end. So in relation to whether it was COVID or 2008, 2008 took longer. I think it was 12 to 18 months until we started to see signs of recovery.
Regarding to secondary market, did you get any distress deal? Anyone offer you during these 2 weeks?
As a business, from the sales that we've done, be it on exclusive projects or off plan, there's been nobody that's approached hesitant or panicking. Actually, it's been people have continued with their payments. So before the 28th or the 1st of Feb, 1st of March, all our sales clients have completed their payments, except for one who's hesitant, and we're still trying to comfort. But so far, again, we've had 0 cancellations.
Great.
Or withdrawals.
To be honest, you're so confident. What make you so confident about UAE government? Why you think they can recover soon?
I believe they've already taken enough of actions that give us that confidence to give others, the confidence that they need. To me, Abu Dhabi announcing they'll pay the hotel tabs of guests that are still there until flights reopen. Dubai following that same action is a very strong statement on how solid the UAE economy is and how welcoming they are for guests, how hospitable they have been, and how caring they also are. 2 is Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed and the Deputy Crown Prince of Dubai visiting Dubai Mall, having iftar over there, also reassures you that things are safe. The messages that we get, whether to stay away from windows for a short period of time and then please feel free to go out, means things are coordinated, things are on high level of attention, because at the end of the day, our safety is through their protection.
Yep.
And they give that confidence, they protrude that. So why would I want to be concerned or worried about when to go out, when to come in, whether people are to work remotely or not work remotely?
Okay, is that time to wait right now for investment?
I don't think it's time to wait for investment. Again, we've seen 3 launches, and the demand is there. Overall, market transactions have dropped, but it'll eventually pick up. I mean, you had September 11 attacks in 2001, and it took approximately 6 to 8 months for the prices to rebound to the original sale price, and then they actually grew double-digit growths within a year. So I don't believe it's the right time to wait. Again, Dubai is no longer a speculative market; it's a long-term market.
Yeah, exactly.
It's different dynamics, and it's proven through numbers that anybody can look at, because that information is accessible. You have enough of data from Dubai Land Department and portals that can show you the growth of real estate across different areas and the maturity of them and the resale prices of them, since 2008.
Okay, so what's your advice for investors right now? People gonna invest, what's your advice?
My recommendation is, if you find the right product,
Just
do
go
not
on.
proceed
Do not
with
wait.
proceed with purchasing it.
What's your advice for the broker in your company?
I believe you should just stay away from a lot of people that are negative about what's taking place. A lot of the news that's out there. And you know what's worse than the news is social media, because there's a lot of fake media, that's out there showing things that are not a reality or a depiction of what's taking place over here. And unfortunately, people look at a post, like it, share it without acknowledging that the substance of it or the information that is being, visualized by the individual is not real.
Yeah, exactly. Even
social media is worse than news.
Even on Instagram, there is no filter that you can evaluate. Is it true or not?
I'm not on social media. I don't really understand how it operates. But I also believe it's their responsibility to help, filter what's not real, because it just again affects people.
Yeah, exactly. As a person, not business owner, how are you going to allocate or divide your investment portfolio at the time being?
Today, I'm planning on just investing in my business. So, yeah, like sustaining the business, the people that I work with until we overcome this, and then reassess how the investments can be diversified.
As you're Lebanese, don't you find this situation normal?
These events are not normal for the UAE. I mean, Lebanon has gone through a lot. To me, from day one, similar to how COVID was and 2008 was, I just avoid absorbing a lot of the negativity that's out there, and more so now, given the previous experiences. This situation is definitely not normal. Yeah, it's not a normal situation.
I'm almost done, but this is your camera. Floor is yours. If you have any final recommendation or advice for us, please.
Don't forget to like, comment, or subscribe on MoonTalk.
On my page and my YouTube. As happy ending, I just want to read a Farsi poem for you. ما زنده به آنیم که آرام نگیریم، موجیم که آسودگی ما عدم ماست. It means life is going on. First World War happened, Second World War happened, Holocaust, everything, even Iraq, Iran, but human still goes on. So it's not a big deal. Do not take it hard. Just be relaxed, confident enough, and enjoy your life.
We'll continue the journey until we reach our destination.
At this situation, I'm enjoying my conversation with you.
Likewise. Thank you very much.
To be honest, as the first experience, I joined Osus company as a broker. As exclusive team, I really enjoyed working with you guys, with you, Setara, and your lovely friend Wissam. I'm gonna invite them.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Nice to see you here.
Likewise.